¿Qué vuelta, mi hermano? What's happening, man? ¿Qué vuelta? ¿Qué lo que hay? Órale, vato. ¿Qué lo que es? What's happening? How y'all doing, man? Welcome to Florida Hood Blogs. We just took a tour to Cape Coral. We started off at the nicer side where the palm trees are. And now we're in a little bit rougher of a neighborhood. I wanted to start the video like this to show you guys a contrast. It's not that bad. It has a little hood right near downtown. I mean, every place has a hood, doesn't it? At least in Cape Coral, it's not too big and it's not too bad. And it's centrally located right near downtown. We recently did Cape Coral and it was a huge success. So I figured we'd come back here and give you guys a little bit more of Cape Coral. The city has a grid pattern which makes the city very easy to navigate. The entire city is planned. It has one of the largest canal systems in the world. Not beaches, but they're nearby and they're not too far away. So if you want to enjoy the beaches, they're not too far away. Downtown has a lot of restaurants. The city is very diverse and in a good way. Some places are diverse in a way that doesn't contribute to the betterment of the community. Here, it's beautiful. It's a very diverse city. There's Cubans, there's Filipinos, there's people from up north. There's a lot of different mixed people here, and it really makes a great place. Diversity really makes Cape Coral great because the communities, they all have good economical mobility, which means there's a lot of varied restaurants from lots of backgrounds. The city has a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of stuff to do. You will not get bored in Cape Coral when it comes to dining out. A lot of places like Orlando come to mind where there's diversity, and it just creates a mess of people that just, it's weird. But here, the city is very level. Everybody's on the same level. Yeah, there's richer people towards the water, and yeah, there's condominiums and duplexes. But overall, everybody's kind of middle class here, and that creates for a really good community where everybody's about the same. Definitely one of the fastest growing cities in the state of Florida, where a lot of people are moving into, especially people out of the Northeast. And if you're moving into Cape Coral, like I said, the grid pattern makes it very understandable to get around town. In a lot of these Florida towns, the roads are a crisscross mess that you're never going to understand. Cape Coral's got a really nice grid pattern which makes people moving into this town be able to find their way around pretty easily. Now, the city is kind of incommunicated from the rest of Southwest Florida other than access to the city of Fort Myers. It's kind of in a weird peninsula, so going out of Cape Coral kind of takes a little bit longer than it should. There really needs to be expressways coming along the coast to get people in and out of the city. It's kind of inconvenient getting back on Interstate 75 from Cape Coral. Not sure why that's the case, but that's the way it is. So if you're looking for affordability in South Florida, I would definitely consider the city of Cape Coral. It's just about the perfect mix of everything. And yes, it doesn't have beaches, but you're not too far from Sanibel, Captiva, Fort Myers Beach. So if you really need to go to the beach, it's not too far away. The city regulations do not allow for work vehicles, trucks, vehicles with signs on your driveway. And this has kept many of the working class people, like construction workers, out of Cape Coral. It makes the city look nice. That is how the city explains these regulations. They keep most of the working class people in construction and other fields where they need to have a work vehicle that has signs on it out of Cape Coral. They're really trying to get the young retired, the early retired, or the people that work in offices, they're really not trying to cater to guys that have a truck and trailer with signs on the side. That's not what they want in Cape Coral, and you can conveniently cross the bridge back into Fort Myers. So if you want to work in Fort Myers, Cape Coral is a great place, especially if you're going to be around the southern region of Fort Myers. On the streets that do not have canals, you can find a house for about $150,000. And if you're on a canal, a bigger house near the water, then you're talking up to $700,000 or more. So there is a lot of opportunity in Cape Coral for finding affordable housing, especially if you don't want to be directly on a canal, which is what makes some properties be worth a whole lot more. There is a toll coming into Cape Coral. If you're going out of Cape Coral, there is no toll. But if you're crossing the bridge into South Fort Myers, you'll see the toll coming ahead. It's a little bit inconvenient to have to pay to cross that bridge, I believe. You're also going to have to pay a toll to get on the beaches of Sanibel and Captiva. So you'll find yourself paying about $12 just in tolls on the round trip to the beach. Unless you're going to Fort Myers Beach, then you're paying about $6. Other than beaches, there's also great shopping and lots of work opportunity on the Fort Myers side of this bridge. So it's good that Cape Coral has proximity to Fort Myers, especially the nicer side of Fort Myers, which is the western and southern side. There's not really much on the east side of Fort Myers, other than like the hood. The hood. And this grid pattern in its major intersections will usually have shopping centers. And then in the back streets you have houses. If the house is on a canal, it's more desirable. The further a house is from the water, the more undesirable it becomes. It's got a Target, a Walmart, and everything you would expect a city of over 170,000 people to have. So there's Puerto Ricans here, there's Cubans, there's Yuppies, there's Connecticut's and New York's. It's a very diverse city with a little bit of everything. It's got Yuppies, it's a very diverse city. Lots of young people compared to the rest of Southwest Florida. It's got some Cubans, but not too much to where it's Miami. It's kind of a good balance between just enough Cubans, not too many. It's a nice balance of people here. There's a small Filipino community somewhere in here. So it's got diversity, and it's got the right type of diversity. Not all diversity is good. There's good diversity, like for example in Cape Coral, where we're at now. This is good diversity. There's people from New York, there's people from Miami, there's people from Puerto Rico, Cuba, Colombia, Filipinos, just a nice mix of people. Unfortunately, diversity is not always good for a community. In the case of Cape Coral, it's been a great thing because it's just a clean, tight-knit, just a nice little city. It's not trashy at all. It's a nice, clean city. For those of us who like nature, fishing, the city has the largest canal system in the world, allegedly. We're going to explore Cape Coral, its people, its places. Popo, dog. Yeah, buddy. Step on that gas. Part of Lee County. They have the Lee County Popo around here, making sure everybody's up to their best behavior. All right, we got a Mustang driver about to make some noise. Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Daddy's got deep wants. Overall, it's a very nice city. They have Nile monitors. Yes. This is the canal system, which is claimed to be the largest canal system in the world. I don't know how true that is, but Cape Coral claims to have the largest canal system in the world. This is one of the main streets. You can see there's palm trees in the middle. Beautiful landscaping all the way around. There's not too many large trees. It's a new city, and they haven't really planted enough trees in residential areas, so the neighborhoods look a little bit bland. Let's take a drive around and take a look here. So needless to say, there's no comparing this to Lehigh. A lot of people say Cape Coral is like Lehigh. Absolutely wrong. You can't compare Cape Coral to Lehigh. Cape Coral is sufficiently better in 100 different ways. The yards are cleaner, the houses are nicer. Everything about Cape Coral is nicer. These people have an aluminum fence. That's usually an indication of somebody from Miami. This one has a sheriff's sign in the front yard. Now the city of Cape Coral even has stricter codes. Some people think it's a good thing, other people think it's a bad thing. The Cape Coral is definitely not on par with Lehigh. Those people who say that have no idea what they're talking about. But Cape Coral is much more dignified of a place. You just can't compare the two. For one, Cape Coral's canal system has Gulf access. Cape Coral is fully developed. There are empty lots, but they're not. In Lehigh, there's more empty lots than houses. Here, there's more houses than empty lots, and that's good for appreciation. Because there's not too many lots left. The land's worth more because there's not too many options when it comes to building anymore. It's a clean, quiet city. Here's an empty lot. Somebody's planted large trees. These are going to be big trees when they grow up. Likely Latino, since they're all fruit trees. You can't compare this to Lehigh. It's just, there's no comparing. So for those of you who have seen misleading information on the internet, you can't compare the two places. It's not the same. There's a lot of Latinos here as well. You can see this house has bananas, mangoes, but it's not the same. I mean, this is, like I said, diversity makes Cape Coral a better place. Some places, diversity really makes a place better. Other places, diversity just kind of messes the place up. This isn't a mix of people that randomly ended up here, like in Lehigh, where it's just a random mix of people ended up there. This is more like people moved here to buy a house, to be homeowners. There are rental properties, but there's a lot of homeowners. There are older, like this house, you can tell this is an older house. It's not on a canal, so it's not going to be the nicest looking house, and not everything in Cape Coral is perfect, of course, but it's definitely not Lehigh. The city of Cape Coral does not allow people to have commercial vehicles on their driveways, which creates a scenario where everybody that lives here is kind of not working in construction, or they don't have trailers and trucks and junk. There's a house here that's got a construction vehicle, but in theory it shouldn't be there. This one's got a work van right here, so there are some work vans and stuff, but the city really goes after it. They don't want this to be a working class neighborhood of construction workers and stuff like that. They want to keep this people that work in the front, not in the back. You know what I mean? Salespeople, people who work in the office, not people who work on the job site. I think that's a little excessive for a city to go that far. But if they don't go that far, it becomes in the Lehigh. So, I mean, you gotta. I can hear some. Is it me? Oh, it is me. Okay. I can hear some Latin music in the background, but no, it's me. It's not. It's my radio. It's not the. It's definitely not the. It is a Friday, but it feels Saturday. Yeah, it feels like a Sunday. This is a really quiet neighborhood. So if you're thinking about Cape Coral, it's definitely not Lehigh Acres. Don't let people fool you. It's a little bit nicer. Look at this house. That's a big house. It's a very nice house, even though its backyard is a major road. But I guess they could fence it in, put some trees. I mean, it looks like they're plotting these lots out for construction. So here's something I gotta show you guys. You see those sticks poking out of that lot? That's an owl's nest. If you buy an empty lot here at Cape Coral or Marco Island, and an owl decides to make your lot its home, the county comes out and puts these signs and sticks, and you won't be allowed to build on your lot. So let's say you buy an empty lot here in Cape Coral, and all of a sudden an owl decides to turn that empty lot into home. You will not be able to build on that lot until the owls decide it's time to leave. So if you're an investor, keep that in mind. So here in Cape Coral, if you are an investor and you buy some empty lots, you can end up with an owl setting up camp in your lot, and then you won't be allowed to build. So when you see these little sticks pointing up, it means that an owl has created a home here. You can tell that it's right there, and sometimes they're very cute. They're nice to look at. You can see a new home being built in the back. Here, there's no garbage. We just did a video on Lehigh. There's no garbage on the empty lots here like in Lehigh. There's no owls. If there were owls in Lehigh, they would start an owl fighting ring out of them. You know what I mean? It's just not the same place. So misinformation. Totally different place. It is kind of desolate, and during a hurricane, because there are no large trees. I mean, there is some garbage. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like Lehigh where everywhere you look there's garbage piled up. It is kind of a desolate landscape. I mean, there's no trees at all. And many of the new houses, only the Latino people put up some mango trees or whatever. You can almost tell who's Latino just by driving around, because they have banana trees, mango trees. But you can see a new house going up over there. I mean, it's a very desolate landscape. And there are no beaches here in Cape Coral. I hear a chicken crowing. I'm sure that's not allowed either, but it happened. All right, everybody, we're gonna go for a little drive through Cape Coral. Cape Coral, man. You guys ready for it? Let's do it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. And also, if you're able to and you appreciate our work, please donate to our channel. That way we can continue making more awesome videos. Let's go for a ride. good stuff in the garbage here in Cape Coral. Looks like this is moved in. Good stuff. Yeah, looks like this is moved in. I don't see any goodies. Oh, usually when you like that computer share is in good shape, man. That computer share is in better shape than the one that I got. It's like nothing wrong with it, you know? Let's see what shape it's in. Actually, not bad at all. Let's see if the hydraulic works. If the hydraulic works, then that's everything. This is a pretty good chair. I know we're in the middle of Corona. Oh, it works, dude. Dude, that legitly is better than the computer share that I have. We're taking it. Not bad at all, man. You know how much a computer share is worth? Like, I paid 200 and something for mine 3 years ago. So another good thing about Cape Coral is people throw out a lot of stuff here, and a lot of the stuff they throw out is actually good stuff. You will find a lot of stuff here in Cape Coral in the garbage. We're on Southwest Santa Barbara Place, which goes parallel to Santa Barbara. And yes, you will find a lot of garbage by the curb here in Cape Coral, and that is usually a really good thing. And not only do you find a lot of garbage by the curb, but the stuff you find, look at that mango tree. It's got mangoes on the floor. Ah, love mangoes. And that's another great thing about Cape Coral is that the climate here it lends itself very well to tropical fruit growing. But like I was saying, you find a lot of really good stuff by the curb here in Cape Coral, and that just means that people are really doing well because they're buying. Like that guy just threw out a nice computer share. It's better than the one that I got. So when people are throwing out good stuff, it means they're doing well. And that's always, when I drive around neighborhoods, the stuff people get rid of, if they're getting rid of good stuff, it just means that the people are doing really well in that community. So drive around town, you'll see a lot of stuff out by the curb. I mean, you could almost make a living just reselling the stuff people throw out here. I mean, I know that in the past when times have been rougher for me, also there's a lot of police officers in residential neighborhoods. In the past when times have been rough for me, I used to just do that. Like here, they got rid of their old mailbox. That mattress ain't too bad. It's not perfect, but anyways, people do throw out a lot of stuff. And you know, if you're buying a house and just paying it off in Cape Coral, and you know, or you got kids that are young, and you know, there's a lot of little side hustles you can run out here just to make a living. So it's a good thing for the neighborhood. Anytime you see people throwing out, like on the other side of the road here, there's a what is that? Looks like an entertainment center. Yeah. So people throw out a lot of stuff, and the stuff they're throwing out isn't bad. It's a great sign for the neighborhood. It means people are just doing stuff, you know. There's economic activity. People are buying a couch, buying a sofa. You know, that employs a lot of people. You see a lot of Hispanic people. Now we're on the corner of Nicholas and Southwest 11th Street. You see a lot of Hispanic people, but they're nice. You know, you can tell they're middle class people. You know, a lot of times people think too that Latino communities have to be the bottom of the barrel, and that's not always the case either. You know, here there's a little bit of everything. North Fort Myers is not too far away. We just did a video there. It'll be uploaded right next to this one. And in North Fort Myers, you got poor white people, and here in Cape Coral, you got Latinos that are doing fairly well. You know, for being Latinos, I mean, it's not fairly well in general, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. You know, so it's nice to see minorities kind of in the middle of the action. You know. What's today, a Saturday? Yeah. It's a Saturday and people are putting garbage out, so you figure on garbage day there'd be even more crap out by the road here. So there's a lot of activity. There's a lot of people. They might be having a party or something. Man, that's a lot of people in one house. Nice baby blue color. The houses here. Another great thing about Cape Coral is the housing. It's, for the most part, the vast majority of the housing here is above decent. It's very nice housing. It just makes me sad when I go to these neighborhoods and there's so much of the just a massive portion of the population is living in unacceptable housing. Not the case here though. I see 2 mango trees back there, papaya trees. I think there's a lot of Latinos, and see that person's getting a new tile put in. I think there's a lot of Latinos in this little area of Cape Coral. I might be wrong, but I see a lot of telltale signs of Latinos. But it also varies, like, you know, it's a massive city, you know, but for the most part, everything is new. It's a really decent area, you know. The fact that all the housing is brand new and nice, that's a great thing. There are some duplexes and there are some rougher spots. I'm going to show you guys one of the rougher looking spots. Wow. You see a lot of these idiots with their cars backfiring, or you know, with exhaust systems, or you know, little the rims, and they'll paint the rims black. A lot of young kids here. It's a lot younger. See, there are some duplexes. These are some duplexes here. This is definitely hood, but it's like a few blocks spread out, you know what I mean? On the other side of the road, there's beautiful houses as well, so it's not a massive concentration of poor people, you know? You have some duplexes here and there. Like here you got some duplexes, and it's because they back up to a main road. Nobody wants to live backing up into a main road. Here we go again. You got a sofa. It's pretty bad shape, but the mattresses don't look horrible. I mean, in a poor neighborhood, those sofas would be gone in a heartbeat. So, not the sofas, those mattresses. So, you know, it has a few duplexes here and there, but it's not entire neighborhoods that are gone to garbage, you know. It's little spots here and there. You can spot it on Google Maps too. You don't even need to be on the ground to tell. You can just Google map the neighborhood and kind of get a vibe for it really easily. It's like a car wash is coming in. We're in downtown already. Oh, that was a quick ride. Shoe cheese, is that a Cuban? A Cuban, man? A Cuban. Alright guys, so I do talk about a lot of social issues on our channel, and I'm not doing that to buy into the environment that we have in the world today, especially in the United States. I do it because people are moving, and when you're moving, you need to understand the social issues that are happening in a place, because that's relevantly something that people look at. I don't agree with everybody's mindsets, but I do understand people's mindsets, and because I understand their mindsets, I have to give them information that is relevant to them, whether I like what they believe or not. I believe that we're all created the same, whether human or animal. We all deserve the best treatments, the best comforts, to be fed, to be happy, and to enjoy a happy home, whether you're a human or you're an animal. We all deserve, we're all living creatures underneath the same sun, eating the same plants, enjoying the same planet. We're all the same, human, animal. We're all living creatures, desiring happiness, desiring comforts, desiring all the good things that are on this earth for us to enjoy. If your country has good music, I want to listen to it. I listen to music from Haiti, Compa, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica. I'm Cuban, so I listen to a lot of Cuban music. I love Dominican music, Puerto Rican music, American country music, American food, barbecue. Like, if your country has good music, I want to listen to it. If your country makes good food, I want to eat it. I just ate Puerto Rican food a few days ago. I like Haitian food. Whatever your country, your nationality, your race has to offer. If you're African American, I love African American food. I love African American music. Not just what they listen to now. I go all the way back to the blues. I go all the way back. So if your nationality, your race, has something good to offer, I want to enjoy it. If your culture plays good music, I want to hear it. If your country makes good food, I want to eat it. If your people are happy, I want to smile with them. If your people are warm, I want to share hospitality with them. Whatever you offer, because we're all different, but that's what makes us all beautiful. Whatever your culture, your nationality has to offer, I want to enjoy that. I want to enjoy whatever your culture, your race, whatever makes your culture, race beautiful. I want to see that. I want to feel that. I want to be part of it. You understand? So the reason I talk on a lot of social issues is not because I have any type of issue against anybody. On the contrary, I want to discover your culture. I want to experience what makes you unique and what makes you amazing, because we all are. If you close your doors to diversity, if you close your doors to other subcultures, you're missing out on a lot. You really are. You're missing out. If you stick to your race, your subculture, if you stick to your background and you don't expand and understand other people's food, other people's music, you're missing out on a lot. You understand? You're missing out because there's so much beauty in the human race, in all of us, that if you're missing out on a lot. So when you don't listen to some music because it's not where you're from, when you don't eat a food because it's not the food of your country or your subculture, you're missing out on a lot. And that's what makes cities beautiful. That's what makes Miami amazing. Sometimes people say Miami is so overpriced. It is overpriced. But for somebody who wants to experience a lot of things, maybe more things than I'm willing to experience myself. But hey, we all have different boundaries. But, if you want to experience and feel and just enjoy, cities offer that. And the more city, the more size, the more people, the more diversity, the more there is to experience, to soak in. And like sometimes we're all born differently, but you can become whatever you want. And you become whatever you want by what you soak in. You soak in not where you came from, but where you are, where you're going. That's what you soak in, that's what you become. So if you are just closed to your subculture, your background, you're missing a lot of amazing experiences, and that's what makes cities great. What makes Cape Coral great is the diversity of restaurants, the diversity of clubs and things to do. So I don't consider myself, even though I was born in Cuba, I don't consider myself Cuban. I've lived my life in the United States. I don't consider myself American. I don't consider myself anything. I consider myself a sponge that absorbs whatever there is to absorb that's good, and a sponge that deflects everything there is that's bad. Because you can either soak in good things or you can soak in bad things. You can soak in things that make you happy, food, music, smiles, friendship. Or you can soak in hate, you can soak in bad people, bad substances that contaminate your body. So you decide what you want to soak in. You want to soak in things that are going to make you a more healthy, vibrant, happy person, or you can soak in things that are going to make you a bitter, sour person. I've decided that I don't want to be filled with hate. I don't want to be filled with anger. I see people protesting today about the color red. Tomorrow they're protesting about the color blue. Today they're protesting about squares. Tomorrow they're protesting about circles. I don't have time to protest anything. You understand? I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit there by the side of the curb holding a circle or holding a square or a triangle. I ain't got time for that. I'm out there living life. I don't soak in the hate. I soak in the amazing and beautiful things that each one of us has to offer. So I don't need to protest against you or for you. I just need to enjoy whatever you have to offer to me. And I don't strive to be sensitive or offended. I strive to be strong and resilient. You know, so many people today strive to be as vulnerable and fragile and offended at the slightest thing. I try to be strong and resilient about everything, because that doesn't make you strong. What makes you strong isn't what you're offended by. What makes you strong is what you're resilient to, what you're willing to put up. And we're all going to have to put up with different things in our life, whether we choose to or not. We're all going to face different challenges in our lives. And complacency has never been a solution to problems. Resilience, strength, desire to be strong and to overcome whatever we have to overcome in our lives and make changes and sacrifices. That's what makes you strong and get ahead in life. I feel that in the United States, we've been given so many comforts, so we take everything for granted. And we don't appreciate the things we have in front of us because we're so complacent about wanting things exactly the way we want them. But we have more things here than we could imagine. We have access to anything we want in this country. But that doesn't mean people are happy because of that. And you know, forget about your economical situation. Think about somebody in the 1800s who had to pull water from a well. You turn on a faucet and the water turns on today. Somebody in the 1800s, they didn't know what an air conditioner was, to sleep on a bed with air conditioner. People in the 1800s didn't have the comforts we have. Even if you're poor today and you drive an old clunker, it's better than driving a horse. So even the fact that it's the year 2020, we're living in the age of air conditioner and automobiles, that is enough to be happy over, people. This is the most ineffective vehicle you could have for what I do. The tires are like $300 a piece. The gas mileage on this thing is horrible. It's pretty much the worst thing I could have got for what I was doing. But of course, it's a work truck and it's all we got right now. Alright everybody, so now we're on the southwest side. I think it's the southwest side. It's the area of town that has the best golf access. Now, for the most part, it's affordable here in Cape Coral. But when you get into these areas, now you're talking really close to the golf access. Now you're talking about areas that are a little bit more expensive. So there are areas here in Cape Coral that are kind of expensive. They're areas where you're closer to the water, thus much more expensive. So if you look at a map of Cape Coral, you'll notice that at the south side of Cape Coral, there's there's 8 giant lakes. We're right in the middle of that right now. There's 8 giant lakes in the middle of Cape Coral. You'll see it at the south central part of the city on a map. They're shaped kind of like a Schwartz square looking thing. They have a strange square shape. You can't miss them. If you look at a map of Cape Coral, you'll notice 8 very large lakes at the southern end of town. And that's about where we are now. Here the houses have golf access. They're going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit more expensive. So down here, it's a little nicer than the rest of Cape Coral. The real estate prices are going to reflect that. So once you get closer to the water, you're going to pay for that. This is definitely the more luxurious side of Cape Coral. It's a whole different ball game over here. And again, the real estate prices here are going to reflect the nice. This almost this is almost as nice as Naples. It is as nice as Naples or any other fancy city. This area is definitely not for the faint of wallet. It's more expensive, but again, very luxurious little area. It's pretty nice here. Southwest 54th Lane and Skyline. Also less traffic. This area, if you're in the center of town, you're dealing with all, you know, it's a massive area. Cape Coral by size is a big city. So if you're in the center of it all, you got a lot of cross traffic going back and forth. But if you're here, there's no reason to come back here unless you live here. So also the area that has better golf access has a lot less traffic. By the way, those were some nice paintings. I think those were some nice paintings. We always find stuff on these strips. Sometimes we'll find, you know, $50, $60, $70 worth of stuff that I can resell. Looks like books, old books too. Looks like they're antique books. I'm gonna pass on it today. Actually, no, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I can sell these. I can sell these. I know I can. I have a buyer for these. I have a buyer for these books. I know for a fact I got a buyer for these. Aircraft carrier. See what shape the book is in. It's a big book. Somebody might want this. I could sell this at an antique store. Look, the whole coronavirus thing, I shouldn't be picking up stuff.
Yeah.
I gotta stop doing that. With the whole coronavirus thing, I should not be picking stuff.
Like the picking sense is going on.
I know. But we really should stop that. Yeah. It's hard, like, nice houses. Very nice houses. Yeah, this is a whole different neighborhood here. Very nice. Very, very nice neighborhood. And people do have work vehicles everywhere. They really do. I don't know why the Cape Coral City's been so hard on work vehicles, you know? This is a nice area here. We got a car right behind us. I'm gonna go ahead and let them pass us since we're just cruising. One thing I do like about Cape Coral, it seems like the drivers here are very laid back. Lehigh Acres, Fort Myers, very rude drivers. Even Golden Gate City and Naples, the drivers are so rude. Here, the drivers are very chill. So, again, there's a lot of good things that can be said about Cape Coral. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. And again, support our channel so we can keep making good videos. These videos help us, they help you, they help lots of people that are looking to move into Florida. And since I'm not a realtor, I'm just giving out information to help people. A lot of realtors are they're lying to people. A lot of websites are misleading. I try to be as transparent as I can so that we can help people. Wait, can you GPS? Oh, way out here, we gotta go home.
Okay.
I try to be as transparent as I can in order to give people information that can help them make life-changing decisions.